Hello. Thank you for your participation and support of Mercer Intramurals. Welcome to the Captain's video for the intramural volleyball season. Today we will be going over the policies and procedures of Mercer Intramurals as well as the rules of volleyball. There are a number of reasons you might be watching this video. For starters, you need to watch the video and score 100 on the Captain's Quiz on imleagues.com by 2 p.m. the day of your first scheduled game in order to be eligible to participate and maintain ACC points. You might be watching simply to learn more about the rules of volleyball, or you might be seeking more information regarding our department's policies and procedures. Regardless of any other reason you may be watching this video, remember that it is absolutely necessary to share this information with your team. We highly encourage you to recommend to your teammates that they watch this video as well. Regardless of whether your teammates watch this video, you are responsible for ensuring that they understand and follow all of the policies, procedures, and rules detailed in this presentation.
The Intramural Sports Department at Mercer University is a student-led organization. The program relies on the efforts of student staff to run smoothly. Respect and courtesy is expected from participants and spectators towards intramural staff members, other participants, and other spectators. Participating in intramural sports is as much of a learning experience as a recreational activity. Learning to coexist with others is vital to your growth as both a human being and a Mercerian. Intramurals are intended to be recreational activities. Please treat them as such.
In order to sign up to play intramural sports at Mercer University, you must make an IMLeagues account at imleagues.com. After you have made an account, you may join one same-gender team and one co-rec team for each sport. After signing on to a team, you still have to bring either a government-issued photo ID or a bear card to sign in at the game site. Failure to bring one of these things will result in you not being eligible to play that day. All faculty, staff, and students are eligible to participate in intramural sports. Players that are currently under suspension are not allowed to participate.
Intercollegiate athletes are ineligible until 365 days or one intramural season, whichever is greater, after their affiliation with the team ends. Varsity coaches will be handled on a case-by-case basis. A team that uses an ineligible player will forfeit the contest in which that player was on the roster. Teams must formalize rosters on imleagues.com by 2 p.m. the day of the game. Once a player signs onto a team, he or she is locked onto that team. Rosters are frozen in the playoffs and no one may be added at this time. The most debated and consistent issue the program has with participants is when a competition has to be forfeited. Game time is forfeit time. No matter what has happened in the past, this policy will be enforced consistently. Being a couple of minutes late is still late and will result in a forfeit if your team does not have the minimum number of competitors for the sport. Forfeits will result in a loss and forfeiture of ACC points. A team that forfeits twice will be dropped from the league. We recommend that captains tell their teams to be on site 15 minutes prior to game time.
If a team knows in advance that they will not be able to play a scheduled contest, they may default. To default, a member of the team must come into the intramural sports office and fill out a default form. This form must be filled out by 4 p.m. the day of the contest and 4 p.m. Friday for Sunday contests. Please note that a team may only default 50% of their regular season games. Defaulting more than 50% will result in that team being dropped from the league.
Any team that does not have the minimum number of players registered on IMLeagues by 2 p.m. the day of the contest will automatically default any games scheduled that day. In addition, we have a new policy. If a team has a participant show up to the game site that is not on the roster, then that participant may use the new one-time entry form. Up to 2 players may use the one-time entry form for each team at each contest. In order to use the one-time entry form, you must have a valid bear card. We cannot accept any other form of ID with this form. Also, any participant wanting to use this form cannot have played with any other team in that league and must be an eligible participant under the Mercer Intramurals policies and procedures. Once a participant fills out this form, they will be allowed to play in the contest that night. Then they will have until 2 p.m. the following business day to join the team on imleagues.com. If a participant fails to join the team by the given deadline, or if they are found to be ineligible, the team they played with will forfeit that contest, and that participant will not be allowed to use a one-time entry form again for that sport. A participant may use the one-time entry form once per league, assuming that the participant has properly followed the one-time entry form procedures.
At the conclusion of each contest, the field supervisor and officials will assign a sportsmanship grade, 0 through 4 in whole number increments, to each team. Captains must sign the score sheet after the grade and final score are placed. Captains, please do not sign the score sheet if this information is not there. Teams that do not achieve a 2.5 or better will not make the playoffs. Also, teams that fall below a 2.5 in the playoffs will be removed from the bracket. Teams forfeiting a game for any reason may not receive higher than a 2, and the winning team receives a 3. If a team defaults, both teams receive a 3. If a team captain feels that the officials have erred in the application of a rule, they may protest the ruling. This must be done prior to the next play. The supervisor will then be consulted and will make a decision. If the team still doesn't agree with the application, they may submit a written proposal to the assistant director. Please note that only the application of a rule can be protested. Judgment calls made by officials are final and may not be protested.
In the event of inclement weather, intramural activities are subject to cancellation. The decision to cancel games will not be made prior to 4 p.m. the day of the contest. If this happens, the intramural sports staff will update a voicemail message with important information on the day's events and send a message to all participants via imleagues.com. Please note, regular season games are not rescheduled. Also, we do not allow the use of tobacco or alcohol on or in any of our facilities.
This is a diagram of the playing area. Please be aware that the height of the net does change depending on whether it is a men's, a women's, or a co-rec game. Please remember that in Mercer intramurals, jewelry is not allowed to be worn by participants. Hard clothing and accessories are also not allowed. This includes hard cast, build headgear, and hard hair clips. Cast or braces may be wrapped in soft material. You must also wear athletic shoes on the intramural courts. Same-gender teams may have up to 6 players on the court at one time. You must have 4 players to start a game, and please remember that game time is forfeit time. Co-rec teams may also play up to 6 players on the court at one time. At no time may either gender have more than 3 participants on the court. You must also have 4 to begin a game, at least 1 of each gender. In Mercer Intramural Volleyball, a match is played best 2 out of 3 games. The first 2 games are played to 25 points by rally scoring. Teams must win by 2, but there is a 30-point cap. If a third game is required, it is played to 15 by rally scoring. Teams must once again win by 2, but there is no cap for the third game. The ball becomes dead if it touches the net antennas or goes outside of the net antennas, if it touches a wall, bleachers, or other objects that do not interfere with the player's attempt to play the ball. It is also dead if it touches the basketball goals, or if it touches an official, or if it touches the floor. The ball can be played with any part of the body and can also be sent over the net with any part of the body. However, the ball cannot come to a rest on any part of the player's body. If the ball comes to rest on a player's body, the resulting call will be a lift, and a point as well as the ball will be awarded to the opposing team. For co-rec, if 2 or more contacts are made with the ball, not including a block, then a female must contact the ball before it can legally be played over the net. Each team may contact the ball a maximum of 3 times per possession. Blocks do not count toward this total contact count. If simultaneous contact occurs by teammates, this contact counts as 1 contact and both players are eligible to play the ball next. When the ball is touched simultaneously by opponents, the team that is on the opposite side of where the ball lands is assumed to have touched it last. Each team has two 30-second timeouts per match. There is no cap on the number of times teams can substitute during a game, but teams may not manipulate the substitution process to gain an advantage. A substitute must always come in for and be replaced by the same player. Once the referee has blown the whistle and motioned for the serve, the server has 5 seconds to serve the ball. Once the server has tossed the ball for the serve, he or she may catch or drop the ball to re-serve. Let serves, which are serves that contact the net on the way to the other side, are allowed. Players that are on the back line may not attack a ball above the net or make a block attempt unless the team is playing with 4 players. No player is allowed to play a ball that is completely on the opponent's side of the net when the opponent is in possession of the ball unless in a block attempt. The circumstances that will result in a replay of possession include if the referee mistakenly interrupts a play, if the player serves the ball before the ready whistle, if there is conflicting judgment on whether the ball was in or out, if there is interference by a non-player, or if foreign objects enter play. Red and yellow cards are given for unsportsmanlike conduct. Should a player receive a red card, the player will be ejected from the game. Should a player receive 2 yellow cards, the consequence is equivalent to that of a red card. Captains, please remember that you must make a 100 on the quiz and that you may retake and rewatch the video until you score 100. You are ineligible to play until you have passed this quiz. The quiz must be passed by 2 p.m. the day of your game to avoid a default. Thank you for your participation in Mercer Intramurals and good luck in the fall 2011 volleyball season.